So it's been a while, but it's a tale as old as time. What's a COD update if there's not hidden changes made? Today with a major update for Black Ops 6 in Season 1, I wanted to take a look at those stealth changes and updates, things not mentioned in the patch notes explicitly, but added, adjusted, or changed in some capacity. A lot of this is trivia, interesting pieces of things you may or may not have noticed, but some other things also genuinely impact your gameplay experience. So that said, drop your thoughts as we go along. Anything you've noticed that either changed from this list or something we may have missed, let me know, and make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 6 and beyond. Lots still to come, so I'd love to have you join us now on the road to 700,000 subscribers. Can't thank you guys enough for the love recently, but if you'd like to join us in the future and you're new, welcome to the community. For now, let's get into it. First, let's talk about a few gameplay changes that I've noticed. Probably the biggest one of these gameplay changes that were patched under the radar was the boat glitch in Terminus. That was removed. This one, if you haven't seen it, was something that allowed you to block off the only two entryways to a hallway so that zombies would funnel towards this blockade with boats that you'd end up setting up, but they couldn't pass it. So it's essentially like you could just go on forever. It's just a way to farm headshots and all that kind of stuff. As we mentioned, it was probably self-explanatory this was going to be patched. I mean, it's a glitch after all. This now, if you were to try and set it up, is something that the boats, after destroyed, because that's the part that is integral to the glitch, after they're destroyed, they despawn after a round. So you can, in theory, set it up. It's just not necessarily worth the time to do every single round. So while it was great for farming headshots and XP, the air quote legal way to do this now is still around with a new method in the directed mode farming, allowing you to control what round you want to stay at, upwards of round 15. We broke that down yesterday in our rank up guide if you want to check that out. But yeah, lead off of the stealth updates is one we kind of all expected, but was not mentioned in the patch notes. Counter UAV and UAV changes were as well made, where assist XP was dropped from 15 down to 5 XP whenever somebody gets a kill, either concealed by that counter or whenever you end up getting a kill with that UAV up. So a weird change that I don't quite understand why that was made, but it did decrease that assist XP that you get from both of those. And talking UAVs and counter UAVs, I haven't been able to verify this one myself since I completed the challenges a little while ago at this point, but from what I've heard from multiple different posts about this, the Gold and Dark Spine launcher challenges may have had a fix inbound to them. And what I mean by this is that it appears those launchers are now no longer counting UAVs and counters as 2 for 1. So what was happening was that, let's just take the Dark Spine challenge for example. You had to destroy 5 enemy score streaks in a single game 3 times. What was happening with UAVs and counters, while they were a bit tougher to hit, they were actually counting as 2. So while the threshold was 5 to get credit for that, you only had to shoot down 3 UAVs or 3 counters, or a combination of that to equal 3, because it would count as 2 and then be 6. You'd get 6 out of 5 at that point and it would credit you. That appears to no longer be the case, which is unfortunate, but it does now match the reality of it. 1 UAV is 1 streak. So it is possible that that could be incorrect where it still does, just because, like I said, I can't personally verify that myself, and people either being wrong or lying on the internet, that's never happened. But I'd say just out of an abundance of caution, if you're working on either the Gold or the Dark Spine challenges of 3 or 5 streaks in a game, just try and do the full thing just in case. I know that sucks to hear, but it's better than doing 3 thinking you're going to get credit for 2 for like the 5 Dark Spine challenge and then backing out or finishing a game and not getting credit for that. And the final thing with stealth changes is something that was kind of borderline here. It's different from prior years, but it is something that was still introduced with Season 1. Plunder contracts seem to be nerfed in regards to the XP yield that it grants for weapon XP. Contract farming has been a very efficient, very fast way and very leisurely way to end up ranking up weapons, where you complete a contract, whatever weapon's in your hand, it gives you bonus XP towards that weapon as well. Doesn't seem like that's exactly the case right now as of Season 1. Whether or not that's reverted and it's a bug at the moment, we don't know, but that was something that is different from prior years. Now, beyond gameplay things, there's a lot of stuff that was adjusted that come down to cosmetics, events, user interface changes, and stuff like that. Cosmetics, streak skins were subtly added here, where if you go and scroll through some of the score streaks available on offer, you might notice that you have the ability to select a streak skin. Some of these are coming in the battle pass, some likely going to be coming in the future, probably for shop items, but more skins and cosmetics for that. There was a skins tab as well in the creator class that allowed you to quickly toggle camos on top of blueprints and builds of weapons as is, kind of like quickly applying an underlying build to what you already had made available. But as of recording this, I went back to check and it was something that this has seemingly been removed already, so I don't know if that's a feature that's meant to be upcoming, but it was there there in the game for some reason allowed you to choose different skins below that camo and that build of what you had, so it had to have been there for some reason, but keep an eye out for that. It may make a return. The splash camo was added in, which is the first camo to be a universal camo applicable to all Black Ops 6 weapons and not require military challenges to be done before equipping them. So what I mean by that is that this was available in a bundle for, I want to say, like 2,400 COD points for the CDL, but hilariously, the only other camo that would have been a sort of special camo applicable to every weapon in the game was the, I think it was called the lightning camo or something like that came along with the $400 collectible Wonderwaff replica, but that still required you to complete your military challenges before you could equip it. But that's a camo in game right now. What about some things that are still upcoming? There's actually a few hidden camos and skins that you can check out now in the menus. If you go to apply a camo, you can check out the all specials category, where of course you can see everything that is cross applicable to different weapons earned from other weapons, but you may notice you have the new ranked play and divination categories. The ranked play camo is obviously that of the career ranked play camo, something you earn as you continue to play and as you grind out multiplayer ranked play, which goes live later next week. But that divination category is actually some special camos for the upcoming Siren 9mm special, which is going to be a part of the upcoming events here and how you unlock that. But still, you get to see a little bit of those multiplayer, Warzone, and zombie variation of each of those camos, which while this isn't anything special, it might be nice to get a little bit of a head start on what to expect for some of these challenges. And the final thing in regards to weapon skins or camos or something like that is there is a new ray gun mastercraft blueprint that was added to the preview in the skins section of zombies, which Espresso of the future here editing this, that's actually already gone live. It's part of a bundle that is available in the shop, but as of recording this, it was something that was a cool little hidden preview of what was to come. Beyond that, to round out the cosmetics that were added here at this, you may have noticed that all the season 1 accessories were added. Charms, decals, stickers in the battle pass and or in shop bundles were all added to the menus that you can visibly see in the customization selection. But here's the thing. You have no option to sort these just yet, so those locked ones are all up front that you have to scroll past to get to the ones you may want to use. And finally, one thing that's kind of inconsequential, but I just kind of found comical, is that things like even unavailable operators are available to look at in the Warzone operator selection menu. It's one of those things that they're not offered in the shop again, but because they're in the game files, because some people still have them, they were just delisted. They, for whatever reason, still do show that they are in the menus, that even if you don't have them, they're there for you to see. But anyways, again, that one inconsequential, just kind of a little funny, not bug, but oversight, I guess. Events were previewed a little bit here at this, where we saw a couple of things mentioned to be coming in the hit list event. We knew of that one, but the one that was a little curious to me was that in the Warzone section, if you go and take a look at the perk of reflexes in the create a class menu, you'll see that it's associated with the Archie's Festive Frenzy event, which we only knew of previously, that hit list event. So this is a new one that we've heard of for the first time with this update, and it's probably going to be coming around mid-season, probably with that update if I were to guess, and probably in that sort of theme of what we have with Nuketown, because Archie Adam is that sort of mascot for Nuketown and Area 99 that we have in Black Ops 6. So just keep that in mind, another event on the horizon. How many are in season 1, we don't quite know, but it's nice to know we have a couple coming at least right now. And then finally, UI changes here. Some adjustments were made to the XP showcase, where you could see the starting XP at a level and then the ending XP, like the start and finish where you were in the progression bar in your barracks. No longer the case. There's a new layout to the shop, which includes a couple of different things that, while I don't care for the shop, I do think that there are some nice adjustments to how it's laid out. Like the new operator and blueprint tabs. These showcase the weapons or operator images rather than having to check every single bundle to see if there's something you may like. Again, I don't care too much for the shop in general, but if I were to just buy something, having just the visuals of what I care for instead of having to scroll through every item of every single bundle, that's pretty nice to see. Now, the only thing that I'd say could go a step further would be awesome is if they'd let you buy the weapon blueprint individually rather than a part of the bundle, but I don't think that's going to happen. Gobblegums were also added, admittedly cheaper than I expected them to be, and while again, I won't be paying for any of these, I'll just end up grinding them out, I don't care all that much, nor any of the bundles in the game. It was announced a while ago they were going to sell these. If we were going to have something sold to us, I'd rather them be like this than the liquid divinium we saw in Black Ops 3. You don't have to pay to then gamble that away for a chance of a Gobblegum. You at least know what you're getting with this. So that's an improvement over Black Ops 3 and the last time we saw Gobblegums up for sale. Kind of. And then finally, free gifts were the last thing that were added in here at this that, well, as we talked about with the XP tokens being taken away from the Black Ops 6 user interface, kind of a bad time to add that in whenever they were going to do that. But from what leakers have mentioned, there's a lot of these coming throughout the season. So you'll end up having a bunch of these free gifts to redeem at some point. But anyways, that's the stealth changes that I personally have found. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there anything that you'd add to this list? Anything that you noticed from this list? Anything you may not have noticed? Let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for a lot more on deck, honestly. Love to have you guys in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.